Alright guys, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to get a little vloggy in here. This is Aaron again. Aaron builds all that other stuff, links and all that stuff down below. I actually just had to take Skylar's Volvo down to the shop. We were getting the trans looked at. Not that it's having any problems, but let me tell you what, I got one hell of a PSA for people buying cars, especially automatics, and especially automatics with high mileage. Now, let me tell you on the face of it right away, be careful with that. If you're looking to buy a car with an automatic trans, which in America most people are, unfortunately, if it has anything over 50,000 miles and you know nothing about the transmission service history, I'd be skeptical. Actually 50K, you'd be fine to do it yourself, but anything higher than that, if you're looking at 100,000 miles or more and you don't know at all what the transmission service history is, I would not buy the car unless it's super cheap, for the main reason that people for some reason don't realize that they need to service their transmissions. I don't get it. I know a lot of the Euros back in the day used to say like, oh, we got lifetime fluid. Well, no. They had a fluid that they considered would last what they think is the lifetime of the car. What they consider the lifetime of the car is 100,000 miles. I've never seen fluid that can last that long. That is a ridiculous amount of wear and tear. So my little PSA right now is if you can't afford to replace the transmission, then you can't afford the car. I don't care how cheap it is. So I just took the Volvo down to actually probably one of my favorite local shops, David's Auto. They're in Belvedere on Newburgh. Not that hard to find, but they're kind of out of the way. They're not like in a main strip or nothing, and they're off the road a little bit. Great shop, wonderful people. They helped me a lot with my 3500 Chevy, that big box truck that you've seen on here. So I'll go ahead and put a link to their Google page down there. If you're local to Belvedere, Illinois, definitely check them out. Wonderful dudes. It's a little family shop. Their prices are great, their work is good, and they're honest. Which is why we didn't service this transmission. I looked up online what the service intervals were supposed to be for this thing. And they're saying check it every 40K and then replace it at 90. I don't know if you can read that, but we're at 96,438 right now. So it should have already been done. And the history we have, it hasn't been done. So we're like, hey, we're gonna bring it by, check it out. If you think it's too bad, like the fluid's too bad, it smells burnt, whatever, like don't bother. We'll just ride it out. Because at that point, if you put fresh fluid in there after it's already been shot, you're just gonna blow your trans even faster, and that's not a good thing. I don't know many people that, you know, are buying these cheaper cars that can afford $1,000 plus for a used transmission, and that's probably just in parts, not to mention the labor to get it installed. And especially in an all-wheel drive vehicle like this, you got more labor because you got more stuff you got to take apart to get to it. So David checked it out. He's like, man, it smells burnt, it's really dark. And he even offered, he's like, you know, if you want to go ahead with it, hey, check that out, you got a Camaro right there. He said, if you want to go ahead with it, like, he'll do it, of course. You know, it's a customer choice at that point. But I asked him, I'm like, bro, if this was your personal car, would you swap the fluid? Would you do the service on the trans? He's like, if it was my personal car, I wouldn't do it. I trust him. Like I said, he's a nice guy. He knows what's up. He has a little bit of experience with these cars. He's told me he's had a few in the past. So I'm like, all right, well, then we're not going to do it. I paid him for his time. We hung out for a little bit. David, again, thank you. You've always been wonderful for us, and I really appreciate your time. So, yeah, right now, we're just driving home. Because, well, can't do anything with the car. I gotta go grab Skyler. He's at work in about an hour. So I figured I'm gonna do this quick little PSA and just let the people know that this is another reason why manual transmissions are superior. Yes, it has fluids in it, but the difference is those fluids are not mixing with clutches and friction material and plates. A manual trans can go bad if you don't service it. Everything will go bad if you don't service it. But it is so much less likely to kill itself because it didn't have its fluid change, whether it be some form of automatic trans fluid, which some manuals have, but most of them are thicker gear oil, so it's even better than an ATF anyways in making these metal parts last. So my suggestions for this are pretty simple. One, learn how to drive stick, because then you can get cheap older cars that have high mileage and have a lot less to worry about. That person was in my lane around that curve, please. Jeez. And then if you're getting a high mileage automatic and you don't know the service history and you cannot afford to replace the transmission, you cannot afford the car. I think it's as simple as that. That's all I really got to say. There's really not much other than that. It's a friggin' lovely day today, and please, somebody, buy my truck. Alright, quick little vlog thing. I want to do this more. Not specifically on like a PSA thing of like, hey, don't be stupid. But I mean, if I can just vlog a little bit more, start getting some more uploads up for you guys, that would be ideal and fantastic. And I would love to be able to do that and provide for you. Maybe be a little funnier. I don't know. I'll try. I promise I'll try. Don't buy automatics.